guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Loki Kia, and guess what? I have that one compact crossover SUV that not only got a redesign, but was extended in its trims and lineup. It's this vehicle right here. There's a 2025 Kia Sportage. This particular one is a PHEV, so that means it's a plug-in electric hybrid, and it's an X-Line. But before we get into this vehicle that kind of can do it all, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Sportage has been around in Kia's lineup since day one, the early 1990s. It was the Kia Sophia, which was a sedan, and their small crossover SUV, which is the Sportage. Well, guess what? The Sportage has really grown up, especially with this most recent redesign and the fact that now you can get it as a plug-in hybrid. What does that mean? That means that you could drive the vehicle just on pure EV without using any fuel, but you also have the engine there waiting for if you need it, if you run out of charge. What's that going to do for you? It's going to extend your fuel mileage by a really far range. But what I want to find out is, if you're looking for that hypermiler of a compact crossover, do you go with this Sportage, or do you go with what used to be known as the RAV4 Prime? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, one of the more popular colors, especially on an X-Line trim, it's called Jungle Green, and I'm telling you right now, it's actually a really cool green, and I'm so glad that manufacturers are going down the right route of bringing more greens to market. Now, you'll notice in the most recent redesign, very modern, very sporty front end. You have LED boomerang-shaped daytime running lamp, your turn signals, and your LED headlights. We work our way down. You got fake vent. What is going on here? Why do we have fake vent, especially on a plug-in hybrid? You would think you'd want to channel the air around you rather than block it. So I am going to zonk it. But let me know what you think about this very sporty, very unique style to this new Sportage. Now, as we come across that tiger nose shaped grille, you got your gloss black all the way down, fully functional. Working our way down to the ground level, you have functionality in this flat black portion as well, with a little bit of flat black along the lower lip. One of the things I'm very surprised I don't see is a forward-facing camera. You would think on this particular trim there would be a forward-facing camera, but there is not one on this X-Line trim. But let me know what you think about the face of this new Sportage. Now, as we slide up, you got your Kia badge in that black finish, and you'll notice that nice curve. You see all the sparkle of that jungle green. We come around the bend. What are we working with? Wheel and tire. So what you're going to find on the PHEV is going to be these 18-inch wheels, gloss black wheels, like the way they black out the Kia badge. Tires are going to be 235 on the width, 55 series sidewall, and we do have all-wheel drive. My one thing that I'm going to let slide on this one, because it is an X-Line, is the flat black around the fender opening. I'm happy, though, that it doesn't go too high like you find on certain Mazdas and Subarus. But let me know what you think about the wheel style with our jungle green. Coming down the side, you do have gloss black on your mirror caps, gloss black trim around the window openings, and then gloss black raised roof rails. From the side of the vehicle, this is a compact. The next step up would be Sorento. The next step up from that would be Telluride. Color matched on the door handles, that little bit of gloss black along the lower portion with the flat black. Working our way towards the rear, I like the way they do the quarter glass and the way that the belt line kind of rises up to give it a sporty look. Even this style that you find like on the Carnival, really, really nice textured look. Swinging around the back, the way it flares out from the passenger door, rear passenger door, looks really great. And then my favorite, no exposed wiper. So the wiper is tucked way underneath that long roof spoiler. You got full LED lighting for your taillights. The Kia badge really prominent in the center. And then working our way down the ground level, you got this weird, I don't even know what you would call it. I don't like it. I am gonna zonk it. Kind of doesn't blend in well with the rest of any other portion. And then you do have a very, very small X-Line badge to let people know what trim you have. But this part has got me confused. I don't know what it's trying to be. But what I do know is I'm gonna zonk it. Shouldn't be that confusing for a bumper. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this Sportage PHEV. All right guys, we got the hood popped. There is a prop rod. I'm gonna zonk it at this price point. There shouldn't be a prop rod. But underneath the hood, you'll notice that is our hybrid setup. What do we have going on? It's a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4 paired with an electric motor. So it's gonna give you a combined 261 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. It utilizes a 13.8 kilowatt lithium ion battery pack, and it's bolted to a 6-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds. Top speed, you're looking right around 112 miles an hour. MPGs, this is really where you're gonna win. Now on the regular hybrid setup, you're looking at 35 in the city and 36 on the highway. If you're thinking about, well, what is it MPGE wise? It's 84 MPGEs combined, and you could do a total of 34 miles of pure EV driving all by itself. So let me dissect that for you. If you're not charging it and you're just using it as a regular hybrid, you're gonna get around 35, 36 miles to the gallon. If you combine it by charging it at night and using that together, you're gonna get 84 MPGEs combined. And if you charge it and not use the internal combustion engine, you're gonna be able to go 34 miles without using a drop of gas. That means if you live 15 miles away from work, when you go to sleep at night and you're all tucked in and you're snuggled, you charge it. You're able to drive to work and drive home without using a drop of gas. That's the power of a plug-in electric hybrid. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see it hypermile. All right guys, we are inside this 2025 Kia Sportage X-Line PHEV all-wheel drive. It's a mouthful, but it's a mouthful of vehicle. Now I know you're probably saying to yourself, well Joe, I'm this close to buying a RAV4, especially now that they're doing the redesign. I want to get a discount on the current gen, but how much is this one? MSRP for this particular one is right around $41,000. Let's see what you get when you go Sportage. To the door panels, love the materials. Soft, dark, black material up top. You got open pore wood and a very stylish door handle. There is some gloss black, and I am gonna have to zonk that around the switch gear for the windows and the door locks. And the door handle is just that little gray nub that's extending upwards. On the armrest though, the gray is nicely padded and you got some stitching. Door pocket, good enough, I would say, for 3 Whoppers and a large fry. And then they give you a little bit of silver trim just to make you feel good on that speaker grill. Now going from the door panel to the dash, the soft touch, the stitching, the open pore wood, very unique on the AC vents when it comes to shape and size. Slide on in, you got a 12.3 inch infotainment system. It's got all of the familiar icons and apps, including your quiet mode. You can pull up your climate control, whatever you want on the screen. And don't forget, because this is a PHEV, which remember, PHEV stands for plug-in electric hybrid. This is where you have your information showing the power, charging, all that kind of stuff. And we're right back where we started. Boom. Throw it into reverse. Backup camera, the resolution could be a little bit better on a brand new Sportage here, but you do have trajectory, which is nice. Working our way down, you got your dual climate control, that TFT display to adjust the blower fan. You could change the display of the information all by the tap of your finger. A lot of gloss black, but the good news is most people are going to probably drive like that because you got your wireless charging, 12 volt USB-A, USB-C, but then you're surrounded with gloss black here. 3 stages of heated seats, no ventilated seats. You got to go up to the higher trim to get the ventilated seats. Easy access start stop button. This guy here is going to control your 6-speed automatic. You got your different drive modes, hill descent control, pure EV mode, 2 cup holders, boom, boom. A place where you can put 4 Twinkies, and then you have your key fob. Soft touch gray with the stitching. Open it up, you could put, I would say, 8 sweet buns in there. Sometimes they're called honey buns, depending on what vending machine you get them from. Steven loves honey buns, and he loves sweet buns. He just loves buns. Seats, soft touch. I love the gray. Look at the stitching, really nicely done. Manual controls for the passenger, but I have full electric assist over here on the driver's side. And then we have that nice power sunshade that really is fast, plus that panoramic sunroof. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Sportage. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have your seat controls, easy to get to for the driver's side, especially that lower lumbar. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. Let's see if I can lower the seat. Now, that's as low as it goes, but I still got plenty of room. Steering wheel, nice leather. I like the way there's flat black on all the switch gear. You do have paddles to go up and down that 6-speed automatic manually, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then, of course, you got that 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You can scroll through a cornucopia of information in the center. It even allows you to see the all-wheel drive. And we have our different drive modes: Snow, Smart, Sport, and Eco. But nicely laid out up front. Let's get in the back seat and see what your passengers are going to expect when you pull up in your Sportage. All right, guys, back seat time. And because this is a 2-row SUV, you got plenty of room, even though it's called a compact SUV. Lots of room in here. You have nice sized pockets. Steven could put about, I would say, 20 of his individually made rock candies on a stick. If you ever see Steven in public, ask him for some of his homemade rock candy. He is really good at it. You do have 2 USB-Cs on the backs of the seats, AC vents, and then a nice place back here where you could fill this up with 6 Twinkies for your backseat passengers. Seats are great. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall, not even close to that headliner. Pull this down, soft, 2 cup holders, plus, I'm not done yet, we do have reclining seats, and they do recline quite a bit. But why don't we get in the cargo area, because I want to take you for a spin in this PHEV. All right, guys, cargo area time. We're going to hit the button. It's going to bring it up, nice electric assist. You're going to be greeted to 35 cubic feet of space. Now, the nice thing is you got plenty of room. You got a 12 volt on the driver's side, and on both sides you have handles. You're going to pull the handles, and that's going to allow the seats to fold down. Now, before you freak out and you say they're not flat, there, you got to lock it into place. So just one thing to remember is you got to lock it into place. Underneath here is where you're going to have your charging accessories. Like I said, you charge it, you can go 34 miles on a single charge. But why don't we go ahead? I'm charged up to get this drive over with. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for a spin in this Sportage. All right, guys, we are behind the wheel of this 2025 Kia Sportage PHEV X-Line. As you can see, I have it in sport mode. I'll go ahead and put it back into Eco. And with each mode, it changes the sensitivity of the steering, the throttle sensitivity, and the all-wheel drive. It's cool. On the dash, you could bring up the gauge that allows you to see how the all-wheel drive is getting to the ground. But nice to have the best of both worlds. The electric side and the internal combustion engine side mated together. Getting to that 12.3-inch infotainment system is well within reach. The dash is very clear, very visible, and it's really quiet in here, which is great. Seats, they look good and they feel good when you're sitting in them. That's not always the case. A lot of times seats look good, but they don't feel good. These feel good. And really, the amount of visibility you have at the front, out the back, the sides, really allows this to be an easy vehicle to drive. But let's go on throttle. You ready? On throttle, here we go. So by having the electric motor portion of the hybrid system, it negates the boost lag that you get from that 1.6 liter turbocharged inline four. And that's gonna get you off the line a lot quicker. Of course, like I said, you could drive this in pure EV mode up to 34 miles. And then you're gonna get a really good return on your regular MPGs just driving this vehicle. It really is a mileage extender. Getting to everything is well within reach. I'm not in love with the amount of gloss black around the shifter, so that is a zonk, but it's all part of the deal, right? I mean, some of these vehicles, they use a lot of gloss black. Let's see how a U-turn is. What's funny is that this will actually handle better than a regular Sportage because of the battery pack, helping to lower the center of gravity. But let's go on throttle from a dead stop. You ready? On throttle, look at that. Instant torque and instant away. Nice shift from the 6-speed. And then of course I could put it into sport mode, and that's gonna change the sensitivity and everything of the throttle and the steering. And we'll go on throttle again in sport mode. On throttle, here we go. So it does a good job getting the power to the ground, but it also does a good job with that electric motor getting you off the line with that instant torque. I think you're really gonna enjoy that overall driving effect that you get from driving a PHEV. But super smooth, even with the 19-inch wheels, and like I said, the technology in here is really second to none when you compare it to the current RAV4 Prime, or what they now call the RAV4 PHEV. But the 6-speed automatic does a good job, so no CVTs, and the all-wheel drive system is superb in the Sportage. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of this Sorento plug-in hybrid. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Loki Kia. Definitely gotta thank Robert and the rest of the team getting us access to this jungle green 2025 Kia Sportage PHEV X-Line with the all-wheel drive. Now let me know what you think. You going Sportage or you going RAV4? How you spending your money? But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Got to give out to Stephen Flood. He's just burning the midnight oil, man. That's what he does. Thank you, Stephen, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.